sir?
So my name is Justice. I work with Spectrum VoIP. My role here is, well, my official title is channel manager. But part of what I do is help partners like Luke, partners like you guys, pretty much sell Spectrum VoIP service. Not only the company, but our service offering as well. And kind of to touch on what Luke was saying about how we work with financial institutions. So, yeah, we work with finance partners who fund every single one of our deals outright. And that's how we're able to include all the phones at no upfront cost to the customer. This is how we're able to do an on-site installation for every single customer without any upfront cost. And this is also gives us the ability to pay our partners like you guys 100% of your commissions up front. And that's something that no other phone companies out there doing. They might do um, all the phones up front, or they might do an on-site installation, or they might even pay their commissions up front, but there is no one that is doing all of that. So not only are we providing benefit for you guys as our partners, but we're providing a huge benefit for our customers, and we'll get more in depth to that here in a bit. But first and foremost, we have plenty of resources out there. I know Luke has built an awesome portal for you guys to kind of quote your customers, log deals, um, have basically an information, vault for you guys to use. But that being said, think of me as a resource as well. I'm here to help you guys in any way possible. So I'll have Luke share my contact information with you guys. So if you guys ever have any questions, or you would like me to hop on a meeting with you or a phone call, speak to any prospective customers, I'm here to help in any way possible. And I will probably annoy you guys so much by saying that, but I truly mean that, and I'm sure Luke will attest to that. Um, yeah, anything I can do to help you guys out, earn some business, especially, yeah, definitely don't hesitate. So, what I have on the agenda is I'm just going to go through Spectrum VoIP as a company, who we are, what we're about, and then I'll go into our service offering. And I know Luke was wanting to go over the portal a little bit, depending on what the time is around that. We might get to that, we might not. But again, Luke, I want to tell you, if you want to interject at any point, add your 2 cents, add your thoughts, definitely feel free. And then lastly, this training is for you guys. So please do not hesitate to ask any questions, raise your hand, um, throw your question in the chat, whatever it is. Again, this is for you guys. So let's make the most out of this time. So please do not let any questions go unasked. So I'm here to help. So I do have kind of a flyer here, a one pager that I'm going to share. And quite frankly, this is probably our most powerful bit of information, just because it kind of lays everything out right there in front of your face, super simplified. So again, I'm going to go over the company, who we are, what we're about, service offering, super simple, straightforward. And quite honestly, that's kind of how I approach what we do with any prospective customer that I'm speaking with. Is I'll tell them, we make this as simple as possible for our customers. So who are we? Spectrum VoIP. First and foremost, I want to say Spectrum VoIP. We are not that Spectrum. So we're not Spectrum Business. We're not Spectrum Enterprise. We actually have absolutely zero affiliation with those other entities. We just happen to share a name. So how does that come to be? We've been in business, and I need to change this, but we've been in business 19 years. So we had the Spectrum name before. I think it was Charter, Time Warner. There was another
It was
company in
Charter,
there
yeah.
that they merged together and decided to neglect their due diligence in the name picking, and decided on Spectrum. Well, when they did that, we took them to court, and our company got a ton of money from that. So, yeah, we decided, we had the name first, we'll keep it, and yes, we'll take your money for using our name. But yeah, we are actually one of the very first hosted VoIP companies in the US. Again, we've been in business 19 years. We were selling VoIP before VoIP was even uh, being
Or
offered,
Vonage.
or I was gonna say before the technology could keep up, before internet was able to keep up with the technology. Um, so we are roughly around 200,000 happy clients. We actually hit that threshold probably about a couple of months ago now. So that was a big milestone for the company. And we are still privately owned. We are a family owned business. We probably have just under 400 employees. So I love to tell people, uh, yeah, we're a big company, but we're not so big that we can still get stuff done. So we definitely have the manpower to get the job done, and those 200,000 happy clients are just one of those things that attest to that.
I think that's a
Um,
little over 1.9 million phones at this point, right?
I don't know the exact number, but I can certainly figure that out. So I mentioned we make this as simple as possible for our customers. So what do I mean by that? We have one flat rate plan, and you guys should definitely know this, and certainly be able to pitch this to whoever you're talking about. So, one flat rate plan, well, what does that mean exactly? We have one per seat pricing. So, what does a seat include? That includes every single feature and function that we have available. That includes a phone for every single seat. But as a broad view of things, that's going to include the installation for that entire phone system. That's going to include all the equipment for that phone system, and that's all included in that one flat rate plan. So we don't have our customers pick and choose, well, do I need this certain feature? Do I need that certain function? We don't have different tiers of functionality that you kind of have to navigate through. Again, every single feature and function that we have available, it's just automatically included. Now, it does come up, well, we don't need all the bells and whistles. And we get that. We completely understand. Not everyone has a need for every single feature and function that we have. Well, going through the onboarding and the installation, and I won't go too in depth on the onboarding just yet, but during that process, we'll go through exactly how that customer wants their phone system set up, and we'll just enable or disable whatever feature or function that is that they're needing to use, whatever it is that they're wanting to use. So we're going to build their system to their exact specifications. So again, going back to making it as simple as possible. And again, I am going to overuse that word, so just bear with me on that. Um, Making that switch very simple. Again, absolutely no upfront cost. So brand new equipment for every single customer. We are going to send someone on site to do that installation. Again, no upfront cost for the customer. We even take it a step further and say, we aren't even going to start billing you for our service until after everything's installed and working to your exact specifications. So, really, that's us putting our money where our mouth is, saying, you're going to absolutely love this, or you're not having to pay a dime. And we truly do mean that. Now, one thing I want you guys to keep in mind is no one gets paid until the customer starts paying. So definitely keep that in mind. yes, we do preach that and we do follow that to the letter of the law. We're not going to charge our customers anything until they're absolutely satisfied. But at the same time, we're not going to let any customers abuse that. But since that customer is not paying until they're happy, our company doesn't get paid. I certainly don't get any money from it. You guys don't get any commissions from that until they start being billed. So just a little thought to keep in the back of your mind.
We have we have
Go ahead.
seen that it's on average a week and a half after installation that we usually get our check. So that's about average. Sometimes it's 2 weeks, but honestly, that depends on the customer. There's final paperwork once the install's done that comes out literally an hour after the installation is completed. They sign that paperwork, and if they don't sign the paperwork right away, one of us will be calling them and getting on to the system, because before our installer walks out that door, we make sure that customer's happy. Tom's done a couple installs. He can attest to that. We make sure the customer is very happy with everything before we walk out that door.
Absolutely. Again, so going back to, everything's included, everything's unlimited. So what I mean by unlimited, so we have unlimited talk, and that's for local and long distance. And before you guys ask, long distance to us means um, anywhere in the US, Canada, and Mexico. That would be considered long distance. Local is anywhere in that same area code. Now, if any customer is wanting to dial internationally, so that's really anywhere outside of North America, they could certainly do that. There's just an extra charge for international dialing. But other than that, unlimited local and long distance calling. When it comes to any future updates or any future maintenance or really any future upgrades, all of that's included. So also should say support is included as well. So we do not charge and we do not limit our support, and we do have 24/7, 365 days out of the year support for every single one of our customers. One huge note, and I know customers love hearing this because I get told all the time, our support is 100% US based. So I should have mentioned we are located in Plano, Texas. So if you guys are familiar with the area, Plano's north of Dallas. We are a Texas-based company. Our entire support team is located in our headquarters at Plano. So when someone dials into our support, they're going to get someone from Texas, probably with a Texas accent. That's one of those little jokes I love to throw out there that usually gets people giggling. Sometimes it's hit, sometimes it's miss, but it is what it is.
Just Plano Texans.
What's that?
They're just Plano Texans.
Exactly. So yeah, that is a huge note to let people know that our support is US based, because a lot of the companies that we compete against, they outsource their support team. So they might be getting someone in India, they might be getting someone in Bangladesh. It's really hit or miss with whatever company is out there, but people like to do business with people that's like them. That's just the fact of the matter. So that is one huge note that people do love to hear. As far as the unlimited one flat rate plan, no upfront cost, any questions around that so far?
Oh, I do.
Yes, please.
So the price, the flat price, I thought I heard you say it includes the phone, but do you mean like the handset?
That is correct, yes.
Oh, okay. But what if I need like a really robust handset, like a, maybe the reception area needs like a intercom and some other features. That's all included in there?
Exactly. So intercom is one of those features that's, again, automatically included. So whether that's overhead paging or paging individual phones, that is available and included already. Now, as far as upgraded devices, so say you're wanting an executive style phone, yeah,
Mhm.
that's going to affect the per seat pricing for that upgraded device.
Okay.
But Luke, correct me if I'm wrong, you already have that built into your portal, correct?
Correct. So on the second page of the portal, after the onboarding questions, to kind of find out a little bit about the business, if they have faxes or they would like e-fax or pretty much any of the onboarding questions, the second page has a list of all of the phones that we currently offer that are made by Yealink. We
Okay.
actually offer some Polycom. I don't have them on there, and there's a new I can't even remember, but there's a new phone company provider that builds phones that Laura's super excited about, but I
Well,
don't
I'm gonna
really
I'm gonna
know
jump
enough
in
about
there.
it. Yeah.
So when it comes to providing phones, different providers or manufacturers, we can use any IP phone that's out there, and we can
Okay.
get any IP phone to resell. Yealink is our go-to brand that we use. We're actually the largest reseller of Yealink phones in the US. But if someone is dead set on having a particular brand like Polycom or Fanville, we can get that no problem. And if you guys ever need any help pricing any of this out, go to Luke. You can come to me directly. I don't mind helping you price that out at all. But we can
Yeah.
get any style of phone. If they just want a basic on the wall receptionist or door phone, we can do that. If they want the top of the line, I don't know, T56W Pro, we can get that as well.
Mhm. Yep, with a conference camera and everything, Zoom built in. I think it's Teams built in.
Either
There's
or.
plenty of apps to sign in that they can
Yeah.
sign in on that phone, and they can do conferencing from their desk. I think that phone right there is an extra $13 a month on top of the basic charge. And our basic charge is $24.95 a month. But we get a discount. We get a discount. So our T46U is our discounted phone. That's our go-to phone, and it is $21.95 for under 100 seats. And that's an untouchable price with the plan, the phone, and the DID and unlimited calls, as well as all the services. Now, if you're on the second page of the website and you scroll down, you'll see lots of phones. Like you can see the conference
Mhm.
phone. You can see the conference phones. They can be hardwired Ethernet or wireless. We have a 3D conference phone that's not on there. And if the customer wants something like that, these are priced as we order them, because sometimes the price on these things, they're like $5,000-6,000 for the set. So we have to price them as the price fluctuates coming in. So if it's a customer like that, let's say 50 phones, and then they want a 3D under the television um, conference center, that's different from a conference phone. But yes, we do offer it, and it is
Mhm.
available. So at that point, they just need to give us a call, and you'll still get credit for that. Just put their information in the portal, and that'll lock you in as your sale, and then say, hey, we need to add this in. At that point, I'll get a hold of Justice, and we'll sit down and we'll have a meeting with these people, and we'll come up with the best solution, what will work for them, and you're gonna get you're gonna get all the credit for it.
Luke, that also includes the Bluetooth headsets that we provided as customers.
Yeah. Yeah, the Bluetooth headsets, if they're chosen on the portal during the build out, they'll get the Bluetooth, not headsets, they'll get the Bluetooth adapter. They can use any Bluetooth headset they need. But if they choose a headset, headsets range between $1 to $4 a month. Very, very cheap for the $280 headset, they get the Bluetooth adapter for that phone as well. It's automatically included.
Any other questions around devices, phones?
Felicity, did that answer any of your questions?
Yeah, it did. Yeah, I think customers expect like that if they're gonna buy a very, fancy handset, that's gonna cost them. But I just was not sure. Okay, and then but just to be sure I understand, some phones are included. Like if they're a low cost model, like say I just need like one little phone, it doesn't really matter. It doesn't ring that often. It's just kind of there. That's going to be included on the base price for the seat.
So,
Well,
Felicity, to keep this as simple as possible, yes, our devices are included in that seat pricing.
Okay.
Now, that seat pricing will go up for an upgraded phone,
Yeah.
but yes,
Gotcha.
everything is included with that seat pricing.
Okay.
And our basic pricing for us is $21.95. And with that basic pricing, instead of the T35U, which is the black and white phone, we get the T46U. So have you gone through the portal already, Felicity? I know, I think your husband has, right?
Yeah, he did. He did. And I kind of watched, but I didn't pay attention closely to the models.
Okay.
So no.
Well, in there's quite a few models, and then once you click it, you can choose the picture and double click it, and it'll pull a PDF on all of those models individually and tell you about it. Also, if you go to abcdsystems.com, the main website, this PDF that he's going over right now, and every one of the flagship phones that we offer is on abcdsystems.com, and then you click on voice and data, and all the PDFs are in there, including the conference equipment.
Cool.
And if you want to get any information from our website, it's simply SpectrumVoIP.com. We have a ton of resources on there as well. Probably goes a little bit more in depth, maybe a little too in depth if you're just wanting some basic information. But what Luke has done is he's definitely built out his website probably more than any one of our partners has. It's actually quite impressive. Especially I can attest that no other partner is doing an ordering system on their website for the phones. So yeah, he's definitely gone above and beyond, making it easy on you guys to do your jobs. So moving on, unless there was any other questions. So I won't go into every single feature and function that we have. I want you guys to know that when it does come to features and functions, we have everything that anyone could expect a phone system of today to have. So when anyone ever asks you, what kind of features do you have? Simply ask them, well, what is it that you're looking for? Because probably we have it and it's available. Again, all the features, all the functions are automatically included. Again, making this as simple as possible. So just tell me, what is it that you're looking for? If you have any questions on, any particular one here, certainly let me know. I can go into detail explaining exactly what that is, what it does. But yeah, we have really everything that anyone could be looking for, like an auto attendant. So if someone were to dial in, thank you for calling Spectrum VoIP, press 1 for sales, 2 for support. We have basic integration. So if someone's wanting to, integrate this phone system into, say, their Salesforce or a Zendesk, we can certainly do that. We actually have one really cool Chrome extension where you can click to dial from any website there is. Or if, say, just to give you an example for us, we do all of our business in Salesforce here. Say if Luke were to call into me, since we have an account for Luke, his information automatically pops up into my Salesforce saying, oh, here's Luke, let's go ahead and get into his account. So without getting too into the weeds there, I mean, we have special integrations like that. One big thing that people usually ask for is soft phone. If you don't know what a soft phone is, that's basically gives you the ability to use our phone service on your desktop or laptop, and that is good for PC or Mac. We also have a mobile soft phone, so an app that you would put on your Apple phone or your Android device. That way you can take calls, make calls directly from the phone system on the go, basically wherever you're at. One thing that's worth mentioning, we do have the ability to port numbers over from existing phone service. So for those that don't know, porting simply means transferring numbers from old provider over to Spectrum VoIP. We do have the ability to offer brand new phone numbers if it's a brand new installation, or simply if the customer is wanting to add numbers. And we can do all of that again at no upfront cost. So the porting of the numbers doesn't cost the customer anything. Providing brand new numbers does not cost the customer anything. That's just something that we include. I already mentioned paging and intercom.
I have a question.
Yes, please.
I mean, you know how whenever you change like cell phone providers, and if you have I guess if you have money that you still owe to that provider, does that do y'all cover that, like to get out of a contract?
Yeah, so you're talking about an early termination fee or a buyout.
There you go.
So
yes,
in most cases we are able to help customers out if they're still under contract with their old provider. In those cases, I would say get with Luke so Luke can get with me.
Okay.
And that's really going to be a case by case scenario, because I've seen buyouts as big as $90,000, and we were able to help that customer out. So
Oh wow.
don't ever let a buyout scare you away, because I would say more often than not we can probably get them out of their contract.
Thank you.
Yeah, great question.
And I just wanted to say a big selling point if you're selling to doctor's office or attorney's offices is the call recording for 30 days. That is big, and the call auditing for any call center or anybody that has outbound calling, that people are paying these employees by the hour to make these calls. These call auditing can be audited by the hour, the minute, the day, and of course by the extension to find out what workload that person's doing. It can also monitor drop calls. So if they have an outbound call, but every single one of them is drop call, then you can go listen to the recording and see why 90% of their calls are getting dropped. Are they being rude to the customer? Are they just hanging up? Are you paying this person $80 a day for nothing, to lose everything? The other thing is the music on hold, and the music on hold can be by extension or through the entire auto attendant is a great feature. So Kathy in human resources can have her own on hold recording compared to Tom in sales, which is huge. And most people overlook this what's called a small feature. It's huge because it's the greatest selling point, especially if people are looking for a job, and that customer themselves is looking for a new tech support rep, for instance, and they're on hold on tech support waiting for parts, and then they realize that they could be making 70,000 a year working for this customer, and they don't have to go on LinkedIn and all these other places looking for the. This is just huge for companies that are trying to grow. The other thing is the paging and intercom with Spectrum VoIP is amazing, truly unheard of. They have Viking paging that horns that are we can put into the contract, and they have all the VoIP features built into the horn, so it's mount plug in, and it just works. They everything's set up from the engineering department at Spectrum, and it's just flawless. You can have 10 of them at a single location. Of course, the customer would have to pay for that. That's a huge warehouse, but at that point in time, they've handled everything that they could have handled in a $30,000 paging system. So
And again, to add on to that, we're providing all that paging equipment, no upfront cost. That's
That's
just
right.
built into the monthly service.
You can also drop in on your employees if it's set up that way. Let's say extension 200 to 250, and they have 80 extensions. 20 of them or 30 of them are management, so on. But 40 of them are sales reps. Well, if that rep's having trouble with a customer, we can set up a button on the phone to request help, and anybody in the 10 support reps above them can answer that, literally drop in on the call live, not transfer the call. They can drop in live, listen to the call, and speak on the call if need be. It's another feature that's just unheard of from anyone else.
Yeah, that's simply, listen, monitor, barge, or I think that's what it's called. But yeah, I mean that's pretty standard when it comes to VoIP systems nowadays. Um, but going to some of the management features, we do have an admin portal. So if your customer wants to do some of their own admin type changes, add a user, do some sort of changes, change the welcome message when someone calls in. They can do that themselves. But one huge thing that you know you need to remember and certainly need to relay to the customer is even though we do give them the ability to manage their own system, they certainly do not have to. Again, we do have a full support team that's here to help them out, no matter how small the request is. We're here to help in any way possible. So if they need help adding a user, changing an extension, even doing an away message, they can simply dial help, HELP, on any phone that's on a Spectrum VoIP phone service, and they'll get sent directly to one of our support people. And again, no charge for support. We do not limit support in any way. We're just here to help. Again, making it super simple. So I mentioned an admin portal. We also have individual user portals. So an individual user like myself can go and make simple changes per the user. Now we can lock this down if, say, a company doesn't want to give their users access to, do simple changes. We can certainly lock that down, but the ability is there. We have full reporting that is built in. So you can automatically run reports. You can do reports on demand. So if anyone asks about that, one very, very huge and important item that I like to discuss, and I kind of touched on it earlier with the onboarding and installation, but this is our process. So when someone decides to move forward and sign on with Spectrum VoIP, what does that look like for the customer? So we get the paperwork in, everything gets approved by finance, puts their final stamp of approval on it. So that customer will get assigned a dedicated project manager. And this is every single customer that signs on with us, no matter how small, medium, big they are. Every customer gets one single person that's a dedicated project manager, and they're going to communicate with your team. They're going to communicate with the end customer directly. That way, everyone's on the same page throughout the entire process. Now, this project manager, not only are they going to coordinate the scheduling of the install, but they're going to introduce you to the person who's going to be doing that install. They're going to coordinate the porting, and we usually do the install and the porting on the same exact day, making it one seamless transition for the customer. And we do all of this scheduling around the customer and what works best for them in their schedule. So if they want a particular day of the week, we're going to do our best to make that happen and be as accommodative as possible. So that project manager is going to coordinate the installation, coordinate the porting. We're going to have someone come on site. Usually with Luke and his team, and I should say y'all's team, I mean, you guys have people that do your own installs, which is fabulous. I love it when our partners do their own installs. It just makes it that much easier on everybody. Again, and one huge thing is the customer doesn't start getting billed until after step 6, account completion. So what does that look like? So we do the install, everything's working to that customer's exact specifications. Then what the project manager will do then is present what we call a delivery and acceptance document. And this is a document that basically says, we did everything that we said we're going to do. We included all the equipment we said we were going to include. Everything's working to your exact specifications. Are you ready to start being billed for the service? And that's when the customer signs off. That's when they start being billed. And then once they start being billed and they pay that first bill is when you guys get paid that commission. And again, with us, we're paying 100% of that commission up front. And that's on the entire contract value. So if you guys sell a 5-year deal, you guys are getting paid on that 5 years 100% up front.
And I wanted to just throw something in on that.
Yeah,
If
please.
it's local, we do all of the installations ourselves in-house. But you can sell nationally anywhere in the U.S. So Spectrum has, I do believe, over 200 installers themselves, but they also have contracts with installers all over the U.S. and the U.S. territories.
Yeah,
That
and one note real quick, if you don't mind. So
Sure.
kind of the hierarchy on how we decide, the installers. Again, our number one preference is our partners to do their own installs. And the main reason being, our partners are going to know those customers best. They're usually local. They're usually familiar with the area. And most of the time, they're already doing business with this customer in some form or fashion. So they're going to know this customer. They're going to know the network probably. If the partner is not available to do installs, meaning you guys, if you're not available, or if say it's out of state, we do have our own installers that we have no problem flying out, having them drive out to do those installs. Now, for whatever reason, our partner isn't available or doesn't want to do the install, we don't have the ability to send out our own installers. We do work with a third-party contract company that is nationwide that can do those installs on our behalf. But yeah, we do business in all 50 states, so there is no state that we're not able to get someone out to do an install. So don't worry about that. We actually do business in 15 different countries. If it's going to be an international deal, I would say get with Luke to get with me, and we can treat that on a case-by-case basis. But yeah, don't worry about where you're selling, because we can get someone out to accommodate wherever the customer's at. Here's just a quick snippet of the Yay link. These are our go-to, honestly, and that's why we put them on there. So Luke mentioned that you guys are automatically offering the T46U, which I would say is our flagship phone. It's rock solid. It works. It has a nice, I think it's 4.3-inch screen, color screen. We do have upgrades available if someone wants a little bit more feature-rich phone or aesthetically pleasing phone. Or if they want something a little bit more simple, we have even more simples than the T43 here. And then as far as conference phones go, here's just an example of one of them. Again, we have a full array of different conference type setups that we can accommodate the customer with. So just simply ask if there's something different or something more that they want. All you got to do is ask. As
I
far
only
as-
have price. Sorry.
Go
I
ahead.
only have special pricing on the T46U. I have not updated anything on any of the other models on the website.
That's fine. And if we need to do one-off building a quote, we can easily do that. It's not a big deal.
Yeah.
So with that, that's pretty much Spectrum VoIP in a nutshell. I know we kind of breezed through that. When I say it's simple, it really is. So you really don't need to try to overcomplicate things because it really is straightforward. Again, Luke's here to help. I'm here to help. I'm going to be your biggest resource, so certainly don't hesitate to reach out to me. Again, I have no problem joining you on a call, joining you on a meeting. Luke hasn't used me yet, but I am able and willing to hop on a plane, get in a car. I will come to where you're at if you're doing an in-person meeting. That's part of what I do. So yeah, just let me know what I can do to help you guys out.
Awesome. Thank you.
Absolutely. Any questions on anything that we covered?
I think we're good.
Shelby, you good? I'll take your silence as a
Yes, I'm
thumbs
good.
up.
Sorry.
Fantastic. No,
Yeah,
you're
I'm
good.
good.
Jeanette, any questions on your end?
I'm good.
Brittany, any questions from you?
Nope, I think that's about it.
Perfect. Felicity, last but not least.
All good. Thank you.
Awesome. And I'm sorry I forgot your name, Pro Systems, but I see your face there.
I'm Tom.
Tom. Yes, that's right. Excuse me.
No problem.
Cool.
Luke and I have been working together for a while now, and it all sounds really good.
Yeah, fantastic. I mean, it is a solid service. It is very, very simple for the customer, and honestly, it's simple for our partners to sell. We do a ton of business, especially here in Texas. I'm not sure where everyone's located, but being a
If
Texas
I may-
company, go
If I
ahead.
may jump in, we just did a 10 phone system in Galveston for the Railroad Museum, and it went seamless. And the customer extremely happy. And we gave them some extras and some other things that went above and beyond. Luke had a pretty big overtaking on there was an intercom setup that required some things that were a little above normal, and it went perfect. And so we're all good, and
Awesome.
looking forward to the next one. So
Fantastic. Yeah, I mean, Luke and I have done a handful of deals together, and as far as I know, for the majority of them, if all of them, have gone quite smoothly. So Luke, was there anything else that you wanted to add in?
Can you?
We can hear you.
Okay. No, I think this pretty much sums everything up.